Hey people, Injured here, 3v3, Estia Province, blue team, couple of Eldar players. First up is Quixote as a Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat, lots of great buffs with some debuffs and control abilities too, alongside Adila's Warlock, a melee commander that leaps into combat, some awesome disruption and mobility, can also tank damage and deal damage. He's pretty versatile, this guy. And rounded off the blue team is Lord Chadwick P. Willington as a commander knob, infiltrating commander that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style begins range combat with a twin link shooter. Looks like this is the Death Skulls elite scheme. Red team, Banangarama is a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed on very good offense and disruption, fights mainly in melee combat. Black Legion elite scheme up against a Farseer on the west side with that contested VP. Alongside ziemniakozerca is an Apothecary support commander that fights in melee combat. By default begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration. Auras on Blood Ravens on show. And rounded off the red team over on the east side, Sentinel Enforcer is a Commissar Lord, good offense and support, fights in melee combat, begins with a defensive refractor field. Commander Knob being very cheeky there and decapping under infiltration. Gonna get the decap too. Commissar Lord, wow, charging right into those shooter boys, forcing them off in melee combat with the help of some las guns. Another Commander Knob is going to get shot to pieces. Got spotted, I think, because he started to cap that wreck point. There's his stun bomb, and Slugger's moving in on the stun squad. No, doesn't want to tangle with that much las fire. Commissar Lord comes back to help out. Triple guardsman and a sentinel there. A lot of piercing damage early on. 2-1 cap for red team early, and here comes Quixote to the mid alongside Adila. They have very similar colour schemes, white and black and white and green, so that's going to be fun and confusing. Banshees on capping duty for Quixote. Apothecary alongside Banangarama's stuff can support them with heals, so he can be a little bit more aggressive here with his CSM, perhaps throw them into melee combat. Dodges the grenade nicely. Banshees moving all the way over to the east side with this Farseer. She might be getting the Spirit Stones up to support them, because I think we have shotgun scouts already, yes, and aspiring champion heretics from Banangarama. So some anti-melee up already. Might need that support of the spiritual rights. Dire Avengers with an aspect already up for Quixote, going over to the west side to cap, and Banangarama's going over to stop them. Is he going to push through here? Ziemniakozerca? No, he's not. He's just going to cap mid and sit. Should push through and try and get a decap, I think. Shuriken is there, but he might be able to catch it in melee combat or something. Maybe he's afraid of the Banshees, but I think they were forced off the field. Yes, they were. All the way back at base there. Apothecary being shot down. That is painful. Surely Merciless Witchblade, yes, from Adila on the way. Can smack that Apothecary around and drain his energy, which he doesn't like. CSM forcing Dire Avengers into melee combat, dodging a grenade very nicely, and Combi Flamer on the field. Pretty much a no-brainer auto purchase for Chaos Lords fighting Eldar. Is he going to wipe that squad out? Very, very close. Heretics almost wiping them on retreat there. Here come the Howling Banshees, and they have the aspect of strength. Shuriken will set up. Might be able to focus fire the Chaos Lord down. No, does not fire at the Chaos Lord. He can get in there and tie it up. And there's killed a weak dodge nicely by Quixote. What does he do with these Banshees here? He's got to send them in on the Chaos Lord surely, but Heretics are lurking for that Doom Blast. And Banangarama plays it well, I think. Didn't try and push the issue there. Backs away, now has Raptors coming in. Might try and wait for them to hit the field before he really goes after Quixote. What are these Dire Avengers doing back on the field with one model? Misplay there from Quixote, sends them back to base to heal up and reinforce. Some Corn Worship momentarily. Looks like he is waiting for those Raptors. Meanwhile, mid, blue team pushing all the way through the center and bashing a generator or two. Perhaps Assault Marines on the field for ziemniakozerca, and they jump in and scare off the Shuriken. Does he send the Warlock after the Assault Marines, or does he send this guy after the Apothecary? Maybe it depends who's closer and how much of a threat the Assault Marines are in that moment. I think he'd go after the Assault Marines first, draw that heal out, and then maybe he can focus down the Apothecary and get him off the field. Raptors are up on the west side. Jump troops with bolt pistols and chainswords. 30 DPS melee. They can hit. Looks like the Banshees spotted them there, using their fleet to position themselves safely. And we are going to see Banangarama push, I think. How does he stop the Shuriken? Now, the Chaos Lord is pretty low, and he is initiating with the Raptors. Banshee's not there to get stuck in, though. Big mistake and misplay from Quixote. He loses his Shuriken. I was wondering if Banangarama was going to jump them in and initiate with them, seeing as the Banshees would be there, but they weren't there. Thought maybe he'd send the Chaos Lord in first. Here comes another guardian weapon team, this time from Adila. Also has Rangers up. And Raptors might finish off this. Farseer, if she's not careful, she fleets away and then retreats. That was good play from Quixote. If he just retreated there without fleeting first, would have lost the Farseer. Look at that passive leap from the Warlock. Have anything else? Nope. Quixote goes tier 2, as does Sentinel Enforcer. Just goes tier 2 with triple guardsman and Sentinel here. Hide the boys on sluggers. They do have their burners, giving them some more hit points and a couple of power melee weapons. That was the Purification Rites, was it? Nope. What was that? That knocked them over. Not actually sure. Obviously not paying attention, but here's the Commander Knob with the Assassin's Knife. 70 DPS as you see there, which is not a huge amount. It's not bad at all, but he also has Assassinate, which helps him pick off high value models such as Marines. It's really powerful and kind of annoying, especially if the engagement's already started. Your Marines are weakened and then a Commander Knob sneaks in and assassinates one of them. Warlock getting stuck in close to Banangarama's base, but is persuaded to leave eventually. And the power has been defended for the most part. Looks like they got one of the generators perhaps. 456, 473. Red team with a Gen Farm mid being captured now by Quixote's Farseer. Power bash on the east side. Attempted power bash anyway. We do have flamers up. Here comes infiltrated sluggers again. Willington using it well. Can now turn and engage these guys. Doesn't go after them. Might have been able to finish it off. Maybe. At least got a couple of models, I think. But goes after the other squad. And looks like they got a generator and a node. West side Banangarama's capping. And tier 2 time. Quixote, I'm sure, would love a Wraith Lord. Really scare those Raptors off. Uh-oh. Ziemniakozerca is going to lose his tactical marines, pretty sure. Yes, Banshee chase. And the Assault Marines are in a bad spot here. They have to retreat through Banshees. And they jump offensively instead of defensively. That could be really bad, especially with grenades on retreat path 2. This could be a dead Assault Marine squad. And ziemniakozerca could lose his entire army here. Trying to position his Banshees is Quixote, and he's caught them. And there's a couple of grenades. No, one grenade. Oh, it finishes them off. Wow. 440, 453. And his entire army is gone. Ziemniakozerca. But he does have loads of requisition. And some red as well. He could maybe try and get double tactical marines up. And follow up with the Dreadnought to recover. Or maybe scout some tactical marines. Wait for his drop pod. We'll see what he goes for. He's not purchasing anything right now. 14-5, 453. Ogren's on the field for Sentinel Enforcer and scaring off the Commandos. The Commando, I should say. Level 2 this guy, and he does have the stick bombs, which are always fun to see. Farseer's down in the middle. Warlock might be able to flee over there and revive. Here's the Wraith Lord for Quixote and another one on the way for Adila. Dreadnought for Ziemniakozerca, and it might be bad because we have a Guardian Weapon team which could get a Bright Lance and 2 Wraith Lords which could get Bright Lances. So I think at the start it'd keep it melee to combat the Sluggers and the Banshees, but after that maybe switch to the Assault Cannon. Death Dread fighting Ogryns and a Commissar who has the Xenos Power Claw. Carapace Armor also, and Aura of Discipline, which synergizes very well with the Ogryns since they are a low model squad. 390, 453. Would also support Ziemniakozerca pretty well if he had any infantry on the field. He does have the Dreadnought up. Here it is. 1200 hit points of vehicle armor, walking towards you and wanting to smack your head off. Slugger boys are having surgery at a very strange time, and there's the heal over time also from the pain boy. What did he give them? Probably the +1 speed. That's what you'd expect in a way. And oh, there was the heal. Pain boy still level 1, has a damage over time melee weapon. West side is very blue. Raptors have their aspiring champion, and Quixote needs to make very good use of this Wraith Lord. He's coming over now. And Banangarama has a las cannon. Yes. Needs to be careful of that. There's a shot. No wind up for the Chaos las cannon. Farseer's going down. Wraith Lord behind this shot blocker can safely, wow, absolutely wreck those Raptors with a special. Has a pretty damn good special, the Wraith Lord. Very quick animation and good damage on it. Ogrin's now going after this Wraith Lord. Some grenades help it out. Nicely done from Adila. And Ogrin's actually dropping 2 models there. But they were doing some really good damage to the Wraith Lord. Right Lance is on the Guardian weapon team. Where is the Dreadnought of ziemniakozerca? It's gone off the field. Back at base. Won't heal up at base, of course. He needs the scouts to repair. There they are. Big engagement around red team's power. They can't seem to dislodge the blue. They're back out into the field very quickly. Every time they force off the blue team, Kommando now has the special shooter. Wraith Lord with the shoulder-mounted shuriken cannon upgrade. I believe it's over 40 piercing DPS, which is a hell of a lot. 317, 453. Death Dread with burners and bits can try and get some gens perhaps. Chadwick, P. Willington looks like he lost one of his shooters there. You see their bodies piling up around the power. Here's the Death Dread, gonna go down to the Ogrins. Double Ogrins for Sentinel Enforcer. Look at this. Gonna support them, of course, with Aura of Discipline. We'll see how he does with it. I cannot remember ever seeing double Ogrins in Elite mod. I know Edger used to run it sometimes in retail. I saw a few times. But in Elite, I have never seen double Ogrins that I can remember. And down goes a Wraith Lord. Took a las cannon hit. Banangarama doing a really good job coming to mid and supporting. Yes, he lost the west side, but he took down the Wraith Lord. And taking down walkers is generally a big deal. Big investment in these guys. Wraith Lord set to get a cost decrease along with a health decrease in the upcoming update. 309436. Chadwick P. Willington's lost a bunch of stuff, now recovering with stick bombers, which could catch some Ogrins running in pretty nastily, and Sentinel is still around. Hasn't leveled, doesn't have the missile launcher either. Blue team put some gens up on the east side, and Quixote did a good job not wasting any time capping up the west, and has Seer Council on the field. That's bad news for the Raptors. Really bad news. 2500 hit points of infantry armor, and they do a whole lot of power melee damage. Can also jump into combat, doing damage and knocking down Plague Marines and Havocs. What does he do though? Does he just run into the Havocs and fleet into them, try and finish them off quickly? Got to tie up both of them, I suppose. Wraith Lord could then pretty much have free reign. The Raptors don't really want to fight that guy with their power fist. 309404. Red team now pushing the mid slightly, getting the mid points or not. Double Ogrins set upon by Seer Council and Banshees. That's a hell of a lot of power melee damage on their super heavy infantry armor. He needs to support ziemniakozerca, but he's not coming over. He's staying mid and he's eating stick bombs to the face. Ogrins forced off there. Banshees and Seer Council running off a bit too quickly, I think. Bit of a premature retreat. Down goes the Warlock of Adila level 3. And now Ogrins can cause all sorts of problems to the Rangers. They eat a grenade, but do force them off. Can push all the way through and get a decap maybe. Rangers still in play from Adila. They do have their Pathfinder gear, and that is a hell of a lot of stun bombs. Wow. Doesn't follow up anything though. Guess his stick bombs are on cooldown maybe. Sneaky Slugger's going to burn some gens. Heavy usage of Hide the Boys. Uh-oh, the Assault Cannon barrage on Orks. Bits of them flying over. Those guys came really close to wiping those stick bombers. More stick bombs thrown in, gets the tactical marines pretty nicely. Might wipe out the scouts, but they did retreat just in time, I think. They're causing some problems, those stick bombers. What's going on west side? It's red right now. Some mines dropped by the allied Commissar Lord, and Quixote does not have a detector, so he can't see those mines and will have a tough time if he runs into them. We'll see there, yeah, suppression and knockback. Raptors not jumping, expecting the Banshees to be around there and the Seer Council, but they're actually not there. They're over towards the mid. Ogren's running in. There's that big explosive shells from the Commando knob. Uh-oh, flanking from Quixote. Big melee fight now. Double Ogres against Seer Council and Banshees, and he doesn't like the engagement. Runs out of there. Ogres using their use your red quite well and knocking them down. Here's some more Seer Council though from Adila, and Ogres don't want to fight them. Slightly premature retreat there, I think, from the Ogres, especially since the Commissar order is still in play. Something about that engagement he didn't like, that's for sure. Chaos Lord has the Blood Maul level 3, almost level 4, and some Mark of Corner CSM. Lots of melee floating around, pretty cool to see. Dreadnought still alive. He's actually used it reasonably well here. Almost level 2, this guy. Hasn't used his infantry all that well though. And here comes some Seer Council. Could even send them in to tie up the Dreadnought really to stop it firing that cannon. 243, 376 is a 2-to-1 cap for the red team. And double Ogres again coming through like a bulldozer. Level 2, one squad, the other squad is level 1. Awesome to see double Ogres supported by the Aura of Discipline. They're doing a great job. Can they fight Banshee Seer Council blob though? Maybe if they save the user red to knock them down they can, especially with a Commissar Lord in there, because he's doing 85 DPS heavy melee with this power blob. There's nothing to sniff at. Let the Galaxy burn. Knocking down some allied raptors, but here come Mark of Horn CSM to follow up, and they are going to be counter-initiated by double stick bombers, and you can't underestimate those orcs in melee. Look at that. Getting torn apart are the KCSM. They do eventually get away. 218, 376. Singularity goes off. Almost wipes out the Mark of Horn CSM. What is this now? Is that another Singularity? Yes, it is. Once the Lord finds the D cannon and now finds some rangers and wipes them out. Vipers are being chased and goes down. That missile launcher coming good, and Ogren's forced it into a very bad position. 218, 368. Banangarama with a Chaos Predator on the way. I imagine he'll just keep it vanilla. Wait to see if any more Fire Prisms hit the field, then maybe go for Mark of Corn if they don't. That's the warp throw, which doesn't affect retreating units. He's keeping them safe. Maybe he was expecting a warp throw and that's why he retreated so quickly. Slugger's doing a great job burning these gens every once in a while. Willington being very disciplined there. And there's Hide the Boys again. Very, very sneaky. You do have a lot of room on the east side of the map to try and flank on those gens. Level 4 Chaos Lord. There's the time field. Such a powerful ability in team games. You can catch multiple armies in this thing. Levitation. Field from the Gravity Blade. Nice answer to the Raptors and the Mark of Corner CSM and those Heretics, of course, but she needs to run away here. For some reason or other, she did not back it up, the Farseer, with the rest of her army and goes down in retreat. 218, 328. A little bit too hasty going forward there. Used it offensively rather than waiting for the enemies to come to her. Big engagement. Looks like the sluggers are still in range stance. There we go. Get your choppers going. Warp throw. Lots of heals there. That's the advanced healing from the Apothecary's armor of the Apothecary, has the anointed power axe too. Though using advanced healing, as you can see, slows him down to a crawl once it's active, so he can't really get stuck into melee very easily. Double stick bombers versus double Ogres. Don't think the stick bombers are going to win this. And can he wipe a squad out? Those Ripper gunners do decent DPS. Looks like he's changed targets to the D cannon and disrupts it and smacks it around. But here's the Seer Council. Are they going to leap in? Nope. Very late leap. Must have been on cooldown. 210, 312. Wow, and they are chopping through those Ogrins who lose their bonehead leader. No, they don't. Oh, wow. It was a big Aura of Discipline heal going off from this level 7 Commissar Lord. I thought they dropped the bonehead leader so their health went back up to full, as it were. 196, 312. Tactical Marines getting level 2, and ziemniakozerca is tier 3 with a whole bunch of stuff. Looks like he just made a big purchase. Must have been a Land Raider because his resources went down significantly. Down goes the Commando knob. Some more Tactical Marines and then a Land Raider, it looks like, from ziemniakozerca. Has a decent army, and Sentinel and Forces done a great job staying strong after he lost a bunch of stuff. Here's an Avatar of Cain from Quixote. Got quite a lot of anti-melee stuff. Needs to try and type his Havocs quickly, which is easier said than done when you've got so much melee in the way. 172, 312. Avatar takes a hit from the las cannon. All quiet at the moment. Once a Lord levels to 8, I think. Yes, reviving the Apothecary there. Ogrin's level 3 and level 2. 160, 312. Looted tank mid, can try and use it to disrupt those Ogrins, though it does take a while for that ability to go off. Might be hard to time it on melee squads. It's a 2v1 fight here. Chadwick P. Willington's come all the way over to support Quixote. It's up to Adila to hold the mid, and Dire Vendors are wiped out there. Seer Council retreating now. Maybe sensing that it was a 2v1 on the west side. Well, 2-ish v1. A looted tanks are still mid. Red team making a good push there. And now they can try and flank inwards on those Orks. Wow. D-Cannon doing work though, wiping out some heretics. Land Raider Redeemer is on the way for ziemniakozerca, and shooters wiped out. Starting to see some losses as these engagements get bigger and bigger, and it's harder to keep track of your stuff. Singularity drags in the Apothecary, but he's okay. Avatar's taking a bit of damage. Some Chaos Terminators on the field now. Does he go for Lightning Claws? Yes, he does. And this is really bad news for like most of Quixote's army. They are going to tear through Banshee, Seer Council, and even the Avatar. With Chaos Lord support as well. Not to mention everything else Banangarama has. The Land Raider Redeemer is on the field, and this could spell the end for blue team. They have good armies, and now they're supported by a Land Raider in the field. Not going to be easy to deal with that. 146, 294. Singularity throwing the Chaos Lord aside, and Chaos Terminators will cap. Some late game sluggers on the way for Willington to repair his looted tank, I think. 137, 294. Avatar Arcane for Adila now, coming through this western mid kind of area. I've seen quite a lot of action here. It seems to have gens as well. D-Cannon can set up. There's a Bright Light. There's another D-Cannon. D-Cannons might save it. And they might want to get some Wraith God up once they see the Land Raider Redeemer. Surely they've seen it. Here it is. But can they keep them safe from the double Ogrins? That's the thing. If they ground target, they can try and suppress them before they get close. Ogrins don't really have a way themselves to deal with suppression. Jumping in are the Raptors, suppressing a big blob, following up with the Mark of Corner CSM, and look at those Lightning Core Chaos Terminators going to town on the Avatar. It's a dead Avatar. Las Cannon shots also. Maybe this Avatar can save it with a Wailing Doom or something. They let it get away. No, Las Cannon gets the last shot. 125, 294. Big engagement here. Lightning Core Terminator is getting low though, and they're having to back off. Looks like he used Bloodlust, I think it's called. The Chaos Lord Global, which buffs damage every hit you do. Including ranged attacks now in Elite Mod. There's an Eldritch. Should he have saved that for the Land Raider? I think so. Quixote is now very low. Only Seer Council on the field, and red team looking pretty damn strong now. Quixote does have a lot of resources, but what do you get? Does he get double Wraith Guard? And try and rely on Adila to stop the Ogrins getting in. And all of Banangarama's melee stuff, of course. Wrath of Cain. Knockback suppression. He might want to use that to get the hell out of there, the Avatar. Eldritch on the Land Raider Redeemer. It's not going to be enough by itself, and that's why Quixote should have saved his one. Could have doubled it up, and that would have killed the Land Raider. But as it stands, I think it's going to survive. Bright Lance not close enough to get shots in. Looted Tank under pressure, so backs away. And Land Raider lives. So does a Dreadnought. Wow. Has the Dark Age of technology. 107277. Blue team pushing through the mid and decapping. They're going to get the 2-1, it looks like. A lot of harassment on that power by Willington. Can Quixote recover? Goes for a Fire Prism. They're going to need to be very vigilant, keeping maximum range on those things. Certainly don't want to let those Ogrins get close. Much easier said than done, though. Vehicle pathing and just control in general, not just pathing, is not always too great in Dawn of War 2. Warp Throat, keeping those Ogrins knocked over so they can't attack, and there's Witchblade of Kernus, Ethereal Slash coming into play, but look at this. The Fist of Brockus now up for Sentinel Enforcer, and that is a huge deal. Land Raider support and none shall fall. That is tough. They're going to need to try and focus down this Commissar. He's level 9, this guy. Looted Tank staying around for a bit too long. Ogrins now chasing, and they're not that slow with their charge active. And down goes the Looted Tank, even if they weren't there. Raptors have jumped in. Oh, they didn't have their Power Fist anyway. Terminator's on the field for ziemniakozerca. And look how well he's recovered. Lost his entire army. End of tier 1, early tier 2 kind of time. But hey, they stuck in there. Made some good purchases. And Eldar have suffered from generally being much more fragile than the Space Marine player and the Chaos player later on. Lightning Claws, so dangerous. Look at this though, triple Fire Prisms, and the Avatar of Adila is still around. It's not over yet. They can try and keep those Ogrins disrupted with the Dispersed Shot. Send in your Avatar to back it up. Seer Council haven't done as well as I thought they would do against the Ogrins. The Ogrins have leveled and the Seer Council haven't. Maybe that's the deal. Warlock though has the Witchblade of Kernus. Is he distracted by his bigger units? No, he does use it. Look how much damage that thing does when you hit all the models. Happy to fight them. Maybe just keep them occupied. There's a special attack as well. Last Cannon Predator Tank going to try and chase down those Fire Prisms, I think. And look at that. Warlock forcing the Ogrins running back to their Land Raider. And this is the big thing now. Can they deal with a Land Raider? I don't think they can. They've used both their Eldritches. There's going to be a long time before they get another. They don't have Wraith Guard. They can follow up an Eldritch if they had one with Fire Prisms. But other than that, they're going to find it so difficult just to get close to this VP. Look at all this stuff here. And we have Meltagun Raptors to jump on these Fire Prisms too. Flash Kits getting their blasters. Do they focus mid though? I think it's time to focus mid, blue team. Try and make this Land Raider move. Look at all of this stuff. That's a lot of damage from those blasters on the Ogrins though. 73,229. Surely the red team have this tied up. Dispersed shots, disrupting stuff left and right. But as you can see, look, they're having trouble controlling these things. Need to get this Fire Prism out of there, I think. Wrath of Cain. But there's none shall fall. Need to try and focus down the Commissar. Uh oh, Commissar's in retreat anyway. But you're just going to retreat back to the Land Raiders. It's not a big loss. Wailing Doom trying to time it for those Ogrins. And times it very well, but doesn't get a model, I don't think. Yes, actually did get a model. 50-229. Blue team trying valiantly to push against the Land Raider. And look at this push. They're forcing it back. And someone's pushing mid. Alongside the Orks is Adila, who's split quite nicely here. The cannon's going to be forced off. Orks getting a little bit too close with their commandos. Just didn't quite have enough to finish off that Land Raider. Got it down to half hit points again. Just misuses of the nukes, I think. Kind of a knee-jerk reaction to nuke with the Land Raider as soon as they could, instead of waiting for a definitive push. And that could have made all the difference. 34-229. No way blue team come back now. That was their chance right there to try and chase down the Land Raider with fire prisms, but they couldn't quite manage it. Avatar's going to go down. Melter Gunner's doing a lot of damage to the super heavy infantry armor. Does bonus damage, I think 25% more. And down goes the Warlock as well. Hits over. Land Raider, as is so often the case in a team game, making a massive difference. Ziemniakozerca did well though, since he got his Dreadnought in the field, did not lose a squad, and the Dreadnought lived to level 3. Concede, as you've seen. Let's look at the commanders. Level 3 Farseer, on with the Assyrian Spirit Stones and the Gravity Blade. The Warlock was down at level 7, had the Witchblade of Kurnus and Warp Throat. One of level 4, Special Shooter, Better Combat Kit and Stick Bombs. Chaos Lord level 7 did in fact have Demonic Visage at the end, Armor of the Inferno and Blood Maul. Apothecary level 4 with the Axe, Armor of the Apothecarian and Purification Vials. That is so much support. Advanced Healing, Aura of Discipline and a Land Raider. Not to mention the passive health regeneration from the Apothecary. Commissar Lord level 10, Fist of Brockus, Carapace Armor and Aura of Discipline. Very solid game from Sentinel and Enforcer, despite all those tricky walkie pushes over there. There we go guys, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.